Hi everyone, and welcome to Storytime with H, the first episode. So like I said in the vlog, I'm going to be using cards from the game Once Upon a Time by Atlas Games, and I'm going to be just drawing a few random cards and then trying to tell a story using the cards that I draw. So I'm not going to be using the ending cards to start. I hope it's not too bright. I've got quite a bit of light on right now. So yeah, I'm just going to be drawing. I think I'm going to start with maybe 5, maybe 3 would be better. I'll start with 5 and then try and tell a random story. For the first little while, this is probably going to be a little odd for me because I haven't done YouTube for very long yet, so I'm still getting used to everything. Alright, and telling a story to a camera is a lot different than actually playing around a table. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it a go here. Alright, so the 5 cards that I have drawn are character. I have an orphan, and I have an aspect, foolish, so foolish orphan, and a place. I have a road, and I also have a thing, a key, and an event. Well, arguing. Well, I got one of each on the first video. That's actually really fortunate because now I actually have quite a bit to work with. Alright, so we've got a foolish orphan, a road, an argument takes place, and a key for something. Well, alright, let's start. Well, because it's Once Upon a Time, I'm just going to start it off saying, once upon a time, there was a young boy. Well, young boy? Should I say boy? Yeah, let's just say he's a young boy who grew up an orphan. He didn't live with... He never knew his parents. He grew up in an orphanage, and he wasn't raised in the best of ways. Like, we'll say this is set more in the medieval times, kind of. And he wasn't raised the best. The keepers of the orphanage weren't very good to the kids, and as a result, he grew up to be somewhat criminal. As a result, a lot of the choices that he made throughout his young life quite foolish, even by the standards of a young child. And we'll say he was about 13 years old, and he lived in a small town. It was an orphanage that was removed from most of civilized life. So he didn't know a lot of people, and his face became relatively well known around the town fairly quickly. But he was also given to criminal activity, so he was known as being a thief, and some might say that he did it out of what he perceived as a need to survive, but in truth, the orphanage provided for him what he needed, but he just wasn't satisfied with having so little. A king had come through the town before, and he had seen the riches that the younger people that had accompanied him had. They had just passed through the town. They had never stopped to visit with people, but seeing the caravan and seeing even merchants come through the city with more than he had ever had or known made him very say, envious desire. He had strong desire to have more than what he had come to expect, or to get from life. So, and he had remembered that one of the traveling merchants that had stopped in the town had spoken of a chest that held his most valuable possessions within it. So the boy, being a thief, ventured out into the town to seek out this traveling merchant, and he snuck around the town because his face was so well known. He tried to stick to the shadows so nobody would call him out or draw attention to him. He got close to the traveling merchant's caravan when a young girl who also lived in the orphanage with him, grabbed his arm from behind and stopped him and pulled him back into the shadows and said to him, "Hey, what you doing? Don't think that I don't know what's in that chest back in that caravan." And the boy responded, I don't know what you're talking about." And the girl responded, Don't take me for a fool. I heard his speeches too." And so she says, "Tell you what, if you steal it, I can help. How about we split whatever's in there 50-50? And, well, I don't know if I should say 50-50. You'd say, we'll split it." Yeah, just leave it at that. And the boy thought it over for a moment and said, "Nah, I like my odds on my own." And so the girl pulled him further back and was like, I'm not gonna let you take that treasure without you sharing it with the rest of us. There's plenty of needs in the orphanage that ain't meeting, and so you stay there while I go get it. The boy really wanted this treasure for himself, so he wrestled with her to try and get her to stay put. And as they were wrestling, the key fell out of her pocket, or a key fell out of her pocket. And hearing it clang to the ground, the boy looked down and said, You was already prepared to steal it, weren't you? You've got the key and everything. You were gonna leave me out of it." The girl backed up, looking at the key, and said, I don't know where that came from. I don't know what it's for." And the boy said, Don't you dare be lying to me." And the boy advanced on her, mad now, and she said, I did not steal that key from the merchant. As you know, my sister is very ill. I needed that for her medicine. So the boy stopped, thinking for a minute, and he was like, "So you stole that from the headmistress, and now you're out here, not looking after your sister? I told you, she replied. There's more than just you that needs what's in that chest. The headmistress holds out on us all the time. The boy, having been fairly self-centered throughout most of his life, said, I don't believe you, and even if I did, that treasure is worth more to me than it is to any of you. And the girl replied, no, it's not. My sister's dying. And the headmistress won't do anything about it. Well, the boy said, I prefer to have that treasure for myself, no matter what. And as they were arguing, they heard wheels on cobblestone. It sounded like whatever was going down the road that went through the center of town was quite heavy. So the boy ran out to see what was going on, and he saw that the caravan was on the way out of town. That the merchant was leaving earlier than he had originally said he was going to. So the boy, without any hesitation, ran after the caravan, eager to have his own, eager to sate his seemingly insatiable appetite for wealth. And the girl quickly snatched up her key and ran after him. And as the caravan was about to leave town, the boy caught up with it, but someone recognized him and yelled out, "Oi, boy, don't think about stealing from that there caravan." And as the man yelled that out, the merchant on the caravan turned back and said, "Oi, get your fingers away from my wares." And the boy didn't stop his advance, and he kept running towards the carriage. And with hardly a thought, the merchant halted the caravan and jumped out, and stormed to the back where the boy had jumped in as the caravan had stopped, and the girl caught up just as the merchant came to the back of the caravan, and she said, "Please, sir, my sister, she needs medicine. Do you have any to spare? I haven't a coin to pay you, but we would be extremely grateful." Oh, very grateful. She wouldn't have vocabulary enough for extremely grateful. And the merchant. This gave the merchant pause, and as he looked on the girl and saw her pleading eyes, he couldn't help but be overcome with compassion for this young girl. But the boys rummaging in the back caught his attention once again, so he turned around and scolded the boy, tore him out of the carriage, and said, "Don't you come back here. Go back to where you came from." And as as the boy slowly walked away, an angry look on his face, the merchant turned back towards the girl and said, "You know what? My wife and I have been looking to start a family of our own, and I've been looking to hang up my hat as a traveler." Well, yeah. What say I come back this way and we could talk about adopting you and your sister? And the girl's face lit up and she said, "Truly?" And the boy and the merchant said, "Yeah, I'll be coming back in a few days' time, and I'll talk to my wife about it, and we'll talk to the headmistress of your orphanage." And the young girl thanked him, and as the merchant left, he couldn't help but feel like he had just made someone's day, and he hadn't even cared that the boy had stolen a small portion of food from the back. He was glad that he could have been a help to someone in need. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave the story. That last part I was just trying to come up with a theme to wrap it up. Yeah, crime doesn't pay, but helping people often does warm your heart, and doing good for another can often be the good, and being the good for someone else can often make your day better, and make your day good without while outweighing the bad that may have happened to you. That was kind of the theme I was going for there. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. It was short and sweet, and that's kind of what these videos are going to be like. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you later.